All right, Mr. Smith here with another great lesson with Strictly Algebra. I'd like to thank you for continuing your learning experience with Strictly Algebra, getting your algebra done. Let's get to it. Solving literal equations. Now, a literal equation is an equation with two or more variables. Now you're saying, I can barely get solving equations with numbers. Now you're going to throw more variables, more letters in there. Yes, but I'm telling you, it's the same steps. It's much easier because there's really no math involved. It's just moving till you get the right formula. So if they tell you to solve for whatever, you solve for whatever, and then you get that by itself. It's a great way to learn equations by doing literal equations. All you science majors, you're going to need this. Let's take a look. All right, so let's go to the board. We have C is equal to 2 pi, which pi is a number, and R. Right? So what are they telling you to solve for? It says solve for R. That's this one right here. Okay? So all we gotta do is get R by itself. What's the easiest way to get R by itself? Get rid of the 2 and the pi. Can we do that in one step? We sure can. 2 pi R. We're going to divide by what? 2 pi on both sides. Divide by 2 pi. That will cancel this side and get R but by itself. What do we have left? C is over 2 pi. That's it. All right, here you go. The answer, R is equal to C over 2 pi. Now, let's continue. Let's go to another example. You don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. Let's go. Here we go. We have 2x plus 10 is equal to 5y minus 4. They're going to tell you to solve for y. Where is y? Let's change the color this time so we can see it. Y is here. All right. Go back. So what are we going to get rid of? 4. We need to get rid of this -4 and this 5. All right. So we get rid of -4 first. What do? The opposite again. Plus 4 to both sides. So we have 2x plus 10 plus 4 is equal to 5y. Right? So we have 2x plus 14 equals 5y. Now, what are we going to do to get rid of our 5y? Remember, it's multiplying, so we need to divide the whole thing by what? 5. And, all right, the answer is 2x plus 14 over 5 equals y. Now, let's go to another one. All right? Take a look at this one. K is equal to 5 times D minus 6. K is equal to 5 times D minus 6. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm giving you a bonus today. It's 2 ways you can do this. We're going to solve it both ways. And then you figure out which one is good for you. And we can keep going. It's fine with me. So, let's go. First method. And we're solving for D. Let's not forget that this time. So I don't have to write it down. Okay? K is equal to 5 times D minus 6. This method 1. We'll put number 1 on this one. Okay? Now, let's change the color here. And what? We're going to solve for D. So we need to get everything away from method 1 says 5 and got to get rid of this -6. Now, this method 1, we're going to automatically get rid of what's on the outside of this parentheses, which is 5. So we're multiplying. The opposite of that is divide. So we divide. There you go. Okay? So that's going to cancel, give you D minus 6K over 5. Okay? Now, we have to what? Now, get rid of this -6. So getting rid of the -6, we're going to add 6. So K over 5 plus 6. Cancel. D is by itself. Method 1. Got method 1? Let's go right into method 2. Let's not even waste no time. Method 2. Let's put a number 2 on this side over here. Okay. So let's put the equation back up here. We have K is equal to 5. And this is going to be D minus 6. And method 2, we're going to distribute the 5 first. That means we're going to take this 5, go straight through. Okay. So 5D minus 30. D minus 30. Now we can get rid of what we need to solve. We need to get rid of negative 30 and a 5. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go and get rid of the negative 30. So let's take the colors off. Let's get negative 30 is going to be positive 30. So positive 30 over here equals K plus 30 over, K plus 30 equals to 5D. All right. Now we got 5D, we multiply. So now we're going to what? Divide the whole thing by what? 5. So this gives you D by itself. And this will give you, let's change this. Let's go to another page. Running out of page. I don't know why the thing does that. We have K plus 30 over 5 equals D, because we got D by itself. Now we have to simplify. So we have K over 5. We have K over 5 plus 5 into 30 goes 6 times equals D. Two different methods, same answer. Which one was faster? That's the key to math. Which one was faster? Which one is efficient and faster? Okay? All right, and we're back. Here's your answer. K over 5 plus 6 equals D. Let's move along. Now, your turn. Got to do it by yourself. Okay? So the first one, try the first one, you're going to solve for X. Make sure you read the thing. Then the second one, you're going to solve for X. Okay? I'm going to come back, pause the video. I'm going to come back. And we're going to do the second one because it has a whole bunch of variables in it. And we want to teach you a little something before you leave. And then we'll come back to the answers. And then we're out of here for literal equations. All right, pause the video. And we're back. Let's get right into it. We have Rx minus Sx plus Y equals B. And remember, we are solving for X. X is what we're solving for. Okay? So, X is where? Where is X? We see it. It's here twice. Now, it's going to be a trick to this. Watch. So, let's get rid of the circles. Let's get rid of this Y first because it's all alone. We don't need it. And we're going to say minus Y to both sides. And this is going to be B minus Y on this side. Right? And this will give you Rx minus Sx. Now, the trick to this one is you already know how to do distributive property, right? It's just going backwards from distributive property. It's taking it out. So you have two X's. We're going to take the X, what? Out. Two X's here. So what is it going to leave you? I take an X out of the Rx. That'll leave me with R. I take an X out of the Sx. That's going to leave me with S. Right? I know my handwriting's bad. That's okay. You get it. Now, if you did distributive property to put it back in, you will have this part. Right? Okay. Let's take that off. You will have that part. So, now all you got to do, we're multiplying. So, you're going to divide by RS. So, on this side, RS, here's division. This is going to cancel. Leave you with X is equal to this part right over here. B minus Y over R minus S. Okay? I hope I broke that down. Let's take a look at this because this is the part where I like to explain, totally explain stuff to you, that you really need to know. This is what we broke down. I'm just taking this apart out of the equation. We did the equation already, okay? This is the part where we want to break it down. We're taking an x out, right? So if I take an x out of here, let's take an x out of here, that's going to leave me with what? R. I take an x out of here, that's going to leave me with minus s. All right? It's just distributive property backwards. So if you put it back, if you take the distributive property and put it back, you're still going to get Rx minus Sx. See that? I hope that further explained to you what I just did. It's factoring. So we haven't got to factoring yet. So when you see this again, you'll have some kind of knowledge of what we just did. All we just did was take an x out, because we had an x in this one and we had an x in this one. We can take it out because it's just one, right? All right. Now, enough of that. I hope you understood some of that. There's just a little lessons I like to give before that. Here are your answers. Here's your first one. We solved for x and got 5y minus 14 over 2. And then the number 2, you solve for x, and we got x is equal to b minus y over r minus x. This is strictly algebra, literal equations. Come back. The next one is solving inequalities. We're getting into it. Solving inequalities. Mr. Smith, I'm out.